Menopause Sisters broadcast. If you weren't able to join us last week at the Menopause Sisters workshop, we had an incredible time. We saw a lot of amazing women at that workshop. And I understand that there were a lot of you out there that couldn't join us, but we had such a great time. And I thought I wanted to share with you today some of the highlights of what we learned at that workshop. Part of the reason Menopause Sisters was put together is we know there's a lot of women out there that are just suffering through menopause, and not necessarily after menopause, but leading up to menopause. And this can be after the age of 35 on, when your hormones are starting to fluctuate. And a lot of times you just don't feel like there's anybody out there that can really help you figure things out. And so Menopause Sisters was formed to help all of you out there before, during, and after menopause. So I wanted to share with you today some of the highlights from that workshop, and our hope is to offer many more workshops to you, and we hope to do another one in the spring in the Des Moines, Iowa area. Maybe eventually we'll take our show on the road other places, but for now, that's kind of our general centralized location. In case you don't know me, my name is Laura Dankoff. I'm a nurse practitioner, and I have been working with women for many years, try to navigate the changes that are going on with their hormones. And a lot of times, if you are having trouble, you're tired, you're feeling fat, you can't sleep, you're having hot flashes, whatever the case may be, you may take those concerns into your healthcare provider and oftentimes leave frustrated and really not feeling like you have some answers. And you feel like you're just kind of in this all alone. So, my goal is to really help you figure things out. And because of that, and because a lot of women can't attend our workshops in person, I thought, what's another way that I can help you? Because quite honestly, I see women every day, but I can only see so many women one-on-one in my practice as a nurse practitioner. So I thought I might look at, how do I get out to you in a bigger way? So I developed the Menopause Survivor Guide group coaching program that will be launching here. Well, actually right now, registration is open. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. I'm also going to try to figure out this Google Hangouts thing and share with you some of the highlights that I shared with women at the workshop. So I just want to get started with that, and I'm going to share with you some of the presentation that I provided those women with. Now I realize that this won't be everything that we shared at the workshop, because we talked about a lot of different things. We talked about what's going on as far as symptoms, what's causing those symptoms before, during, and after menopause. We talked about different types of healing modalities, supplemental support, and most importantly, we want you to love your body. We are so good about beating ourselves up with all the changes going on with our bodies in menopause, and are really frustrated with what's going on. Often I hear, I've gained 20 pounds in the last 5 to 10 years. I don't know what's going on. I'm eating less, I'm exercising more, I don't feel attractive. And so hopefully I can give you some tidbits today on that. And if you like what you hear, I'd really encourage you to join me for my upcoming online program. We're going to do live calls, and I am going to tell you more about that in a little bit. So I'm going to share some of what was shared with these women at that workshop. So I'm going to try my best to present that to you now. So hopefully I get this correct. So let me see if I can do this. So here you go. This is what the women saw at that workshop. Menopause Sisters. We did a nice welcome for them for joining us. And during that workshop, they discovered the 4 things you need to know to get your hormones back on track. So I do want to go over some of that now with you. So first of all, we want women to love their bodies. We want you to hopefully you can see that. I look like part of the screen was blocked there. Sorry about that. We want you to love your bodies. I like using acronyms to learn, so I use the word love here, and this is something that's very important. It's very important to take care of yourself and love yourself first so you can share that love with everyone else. So L stands for learn about what is going on with your hormones before, during, and after menopause. I want you to open your heart to self-love and healing your mind, body, and soul. This is so critically important. I want you to learn valuable information to help you support better hormone balance and love your body again, and engage with other women and become part of the Menopause Sisterhood. If you're not part of the Menopause Sisterhood, you can go to menopaussisters.com. And on the right-hand side of the page, there is a place where you can sign up for your free ebook on menopause, understanding what is happening to your hormones, or understanding what's going on. So I'd really encourage you to sign up for that. And it's also another way for you to keep up to date on what is going on at Menopause Sisters. So I saw this picture and I thought to myself, and when we were developing this workshop, you know, we all come from different places in life. We've all had different experiences, and you may have weathered some rough waters to get here, but it's time to find your own path. I think that's a lot of us women are trying to find what's important to us. We're so busy taking care of everyone else, and we don't take time for ourselves. We just say, I'll get to myself eventually. Well, we never do. And so you're taking care of the kids, and you're maybe taking care of parents. You have a job, you have outside responsibilities, and really you leave no time for yourself. So at some point in time, you're going to crash into those waves there, and you're going to feel like you're drowning. And I don't want you to feel that way. I'd rather have you on the shoreline there and just enjoying the view. And even if that means 10 minutes a day. So when the women attended the workshop, there were several speakers, myself and 3 of my actual sisters. So this was part of the presentation that I shared with those women that day. I offered them some ideas and stories about some of the women that I've seen in my practice, and I encourage them to identify their own menopause story and their unique symptoms. They discovered the 6 root causes that contribute to hormone imbalances. They learned about what different types of tests they may need to assess their hormones, and how to help them get started to encouraging better hormone balance. So what is your story? You might be thinking, is this menopause or am I going crazy? Do you feel like this poor woman lying in this chair? You feel like you need to see a psychiatrist because you're just losing your mind. And maybe your patriarchal physician here has written you off a script for some antidepressants and a sleeping pill and told you to go see a counselor. Because after all, you're just really stressed out, honey, and you really need some extra help. So let's give you something very quickly, because quite honestly, they have maybe 5-10 minutes with you at best, and they really don't have time to listen or really have a full understanding maybe of how to help you. So the easiest thing for them to do to get you in and out of their office is to write you a prescription. And this kind of thing needs to stop. Part of it has to do with how our healthcare system's set up, But you don't want a pill. You want to figure out what the heck is going on so you can start feeling better. And to do that, you're going to have to be your own health advocate and to get educated. And Menopause Sisters, our goal is to help educate you on how to take care of yourself. You need to be in control of your health because, quite honestly, nobody else is going to do it for you. So the number one symptom of menopause or the complaint is hot flashes. Big surprise there. As you can see, this poor woman is just fanning herself. She'll be sweating, and then she'll start cooling off, and then maybe she'll sweat again. And this can go on several times a day and night. This picture here is a courtesy of 35menopausesymptoms.com, but you really get the idea here how miserable this woman is, and she's ready to just strip off all of her clothes just to get some relief. A lot of women I see feel like this poor lady on the scale. It's just things are totally out of control, and they're feeling tired, moody, irritable, they're sad, they can't sleep, they feel fat, they might have breast tenderness, lost their sex drive, and prior to menopause, they're having a lot of menstrual irregularities. They could be having really heavy periods that are very disruptive, and they might start having constipation and heartburn and other digestive complaints. And you might be thinking, gosh, is this what I have to look forward to as I get older? This is not the way it needs to be, and we need to help you figure out how to get things back on track. This is a very busy slide, but as you can see here, there's a lot of different symptoms that you can experience during your pre-menopausal years and even after menopause. This is the courtesy of Annika Becka. She's a gynecologist and the Institute of Functional Medicine. And just to explain this a little bit to you, the arrows that go up and down with the little letters, each one of those is a different hormone. So E is estrogen, P is progesterone, T is testosterone, C is cortisol, and TH is thyroid hormone. So you can kind of go through here and identify what symptoms you have and what potential hormones may be out of balance. So this is a great diagram. For instance, hot flashes can be due to high or low estrogen, low progesterone, and low testosterone. So you might be thinking as in the premenopausal years, when you're starting to have all these different things like cysts in your breast, irregular bleeding, that's due to something known as estrogen dominance. And what happens is your progesterone's falling way ahead of your estrogen. And that not only can cause maybe some hot flashes, but heavy and irregular periods and breast tenderness and cysts as well. Constipation, I mentioned, a lot of women start to have thyroid problems as well. And you need healthy adrenals. Adrenals are two organs that sit on top of each kidney, and they produce a lot of your hormones, including cortisol, which can affect your sleep-wake cycle, your mood, your energy. It's vital to life. So here are the 6 root causes of hormone imbalances. Now, there are a lot of different ones, but it's a balancing act, as you can see here. And stress and emotions are at the bottom there, but that is foundational. So if your body's under prolonged stress, you're emotionally drained, that's going to have an impact on all of these other factors that you see here, because you're not going to eat as well because you're too stressed out. You're going to not exercise. You're going to be having excessive worry and maybe not sleeping. So this teeter-totter just keeps going up and down and up and down, and everything starts to fall off. And the result of that is you feel miserable and you start to have other health problems potentially as well. So in the Menopause Survivor Guide group coaching program, I actually go into more detail about each one of these aspects that can affect your hormone balance, but not only your hormones and your health. And quite honestly, this program, is called Menopause Sisters, but it's for all women in a lot of ways, because if you wait until you get to menopause, you have a lot of catching up to do to get your hormones back on track, for sure. So here's a list of a lot of the different testing that can be done to evaluate your hormone balance. Some of these tests can be ordered on your own. Some of them you have to do through your healthcare provider. There's pros and cons to different tests, but it's also important to try to have somebody walk you through what these tests are, what they mean, and there's different ways of testing hormones. So there's blood testing, saliva testing, and urine testing. They all have their pros and cons. I do a lot of saliva testing because I feel it's a real good reflection of what's going on with a person. It's looking at your active or free hormone. There's your metabolite testing, and there's also blood testing, and you're more apt to get paid for by insurance, and your healthcare provider would be probably more than willing to do some of these tests for you. Some of these tests actually, I don't know that you can get as good of a reflection, honestly, in a blood test, but some of them you definitely can, like thyroid testing. But it's good to work with an integrative or functional practitioner that can really give you a sense of what's an optimal level versus just what the lab reference range shows. I think today we are so dependent as healthcare providers on just reading the lab instead of reading the patient and understanding what is going on with you and trying to devise a plan that is optimal for you, because we're all not the same. So a little bit more about the Menopause Survivor Guide group coaching program. During this program, you're going to discover strategies to help slow down the weight gain, increase your energy, alleviate your hot flashes, and get you off that emotional roller coaster, promote better sleep, and rediscover your sex drive. That is a really big deal because so many people have trouble with all of these things, and they're just exhausted and frustrated from it. So it's my goal to help you start figuring this out. Really, the best part, even though I'm providing you with a whole lot of information during this program, the best part is sharing with each other, sharing your stories, sharing how we can help each other, and learning from each other, and that you're not out there alone. And also really exciting is you're going to develop your own menopause survivor guide so you can start thriving rather than just surviving menopause. So during this program, you're going to learn some things specific to you, and you're going to get a ton of resources to further support you in this process. So during this program, if you're ready to start thriving rather than just surviving menopause, then I would encourage you to sign up. This program is only $197. Quite honestly, I could charge $1,997 for this course for the amount of information that you're getting in it and the one-on-one time that you're going to get with me, because we're going to do 4 live group coaching calls where you will have the opportunity to ask me questions. This call will be 60 to 90 minutes long, depending on how many questions we have during each session. So it will be a time for you to pick my brain, ask me questions, so that I can better help serve you. You will also get your menopause and your hormones, understanding what is happening. You'll get the Menopause Survivor Guide, 6 Root Causes of Hormone Imbalance. So as I showed you here a minute ago, here are those 6 root causes: diet, environmental toxins, gut health, exercise, poor sleep, and stress and emotions. But we're going to dive deeper into each one of those areas. We'll also have a workbook and a more in-depth testing guide. I showed you a list of different tests that you may need. I will also share with you various companies that do some of these testing. Some of these tests you can order on your own. Some of them you'll want to work with your healthcare provider or a functional or integrative health practitioner, such as myself, who's familiar with interpreting these tests. You're also going to get the Menopause Defined handout. This is a great handout that I made that uses the acronym Menopause for not only symptoms, but also treatment or support to balancing those symptoms. So that's a really cool handout. And then your My Menopause Survivor Guide, your own personal survivor guide that you will complete during the course of the program. But, I didn't feel that that was, certainly that's a lot of information, and that in and of itself would be great. But I also wanted to provide you with some additional information about some of those 6 root causes that I talked about a minute ago, and other ways that you can support those various aspects of your health. So for that reason, I developed several bonuses that I'm going to be sharing with you that you will have immediate access when you sign up for the program. You're going to learn about how to detox your body to better support your hormones. You're going to learn about various herbs and spices that you can cook with or use medicinally to boost your health during menopause. What to do about that terrible insomnia that you're having without the use of medications. The bonus called Lead by Example. This is really important because if you surround yourself with negative people, you're going to take on that negative energy and it's going to affect your health. So it's really an insight into how you carry yourself, how you perceive the world around you, learning to have a positive outlook in spite of all the challenges we all face every day. Bonus 5 is on the lost libido and what things you can do to try to get your sex drive and your libido back. Stress, as I mentioned, is at the root of everything. So I have a meditation for relaxation, and also a handout on steps to reducing stress and to supporting better hormone balance. And one last bonus on stress-reducing meditation, along with one secret bonus that you'll get when you sign up for this program. Now, registration for this program is open currently and will close on October 25th, because our first class will begin October 26th. We'll be meeting for 4 Monday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time, and each session will be about 60 to 90 minutes long. And as soon as you sign up, you will be getting all of these handouts. And for that reason, and the digital nature of this program, if you aren't completely satisfied with your purchase, you will get a partial refund within the first 14 days of purchase, or in essence, right before the program starts or up even to the middle of the program. So also during the workshop, we went over different things that support better hormone balance. And I talked about these various modalities or supplements. But ultimately, you want to address the root causes first. If you're still eating an unhealthy diet, not learning ways to manage stress or balance various aspects in your life, and learning to put yourself first and love yourself first so that you're available for everyone else, even if it's 10 minutes, you make me time and you schedule it on your calendar every day, and people are just going to have to learn that that's your time. The world won't end, and they will survive even for those 10 minutes. So addressing those root causes are very important. I talk about during the program, we talked about the various hormone replacement therapies, including synthetic hormones, bioidentical hormones, and homeopathy, and the pros and cons of each. We talked about how rhubarb extract, black cohosh, pomegranate extract are various things that might help with hot flashes. Chasteberry helps with progesterone Support. Um, we had a really good talk from Colleen during the workshop where she talked about essential oils and how to use essential oils to help some of those unpleasant symptoms that you're having with your hormones. So that was really great. I talked about Pereira mirifica, which is an interesting plant out of Thailand that helps support your hormones, mighty maca, and passion flower. So those were just some of the things that I shared with women during the workshop. And it was really, inspiring to listen to their stories and what they had to say during our time together. So I will tell you that if you would like to sign up for the workshop, I want you to just click the button on the left-hand side of your, or excuse me, the right-hand side of your page where you can find out more about the workshop. Sorry. And to get signed up. When you click the button to get registered, you'll see a registration page, and then you will get access right away into that program. Again, it's a $197 program, but it's well worth it. Just think about how much you may have already spent on supplements and doctor's visits, trying to figure things out, and you have gotten nowhere. My guess is you've already spent $197 or more. You may have spent hundreds or thousands of dollars in some cases. So it's well worth the investment to really help you. And one of the greatest things, when you're in the presence of other women that are going through what you're going through, just being together is healing in and of itself. So don't delay. Sign up for the Menopause Sisters workshop. I'd really encourage you to do that. So it's, like I said, it's a great program. And I hope that you'll really consider signing up. I'm that age myself, as are all the Menopause Sisters in the Menopause Sisterhood. So, we're talking from experience. I have helped thousands of women. It has been truly, truly rewarding to have these people come in and tell me how other women I've worked with have been helped. So it's just been amazing, and it's really opened me up to the possibilities. We don't have all the answers in healthcare, but I think what's important is to acknowledge that we don't have all the answers and to not dismiss your concerns or the things that you've educated yourself on. When I see people, they've already searched the internet, they've read up extensively on what's going on with them. And for us to say that there's no merit to that or no science to that is baloney. There is. There's a lot of research out there that supports things, but you just need to have somebody to help you sort it out, figure it out, and what's credible. And what better way than with other women sharing and learning together and having a lot of resources for you to understand what's going on, and how you can start helping yourself and start living a better life. Menopause isn't a time to give up and wait to shrivel up and fade away. It's a time to really come into your own power, your own self, and start saying no when you need to say no, and yes to yourself. It's time to love your body. So I hope you will join me on the Menopause Survivor Guide group coaching program.